Can you see this car? It's like a tricycle or something. It's a three-wheel something or other. It says ABV on the side. Two guys are sitting in it. It is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, sunset. Sunset over Walmart. We had a very lazy day today. Did nothing. Did not feel great. Did not feel energetic. Sunday, past 7 p.m. Planet Fitness is closed. Little child scared me. She's been sleeping all day. Sorry for the wobbliness. I'm trying to rest my arm. You know, she's 14 years old. She has arthritis. I've been giving her CBD oil, hemp oil, for about the last year, I suppose. It's been remarkable for her. And it does seem as though a lot of times when she's not feeling well, I'm not feeling well. Maybe stiffness. And her tail is down. She scared me so bad earlier. You cold, sweetheart? Don't mind, I'll cover you up. I'll cover you up. Because she was sleeping and she went, and barely opened her eyes. She's under her blanket. Where is she? Where's her little head? Oh, there it is. That's her little head. It's a mother Willie. I'm sorry. I always talk baby talk to her because that's our form of communication. Okay. She does not want the light in her eyes, you see? She doesn't want to be disturbed. There's her little nose. Oh my God. So much of her life, she set traps for me. She's so intelligent. She'd take a little biscuit and she'd put it on the bed or her pillow, or she's had soft-sided houses and things, and she'd put it on the edge right where she knew I'd be coming past, or I'd be getting into bed, right where she knew that to get into bed, I would put my hand right there in that spot where her biscuit was. And I wouldn't even see the little nose, but I'd see maybe the blanket, her blanket would be up just a tiny bit. And if I put my face down to this mattress and looked, I'd see her little teeny nose in there. And if her little teeny nose is out, she can see. Because obviously she can see to the end of her nose. And she'd be watching me. And as soon as my hand would get close to the biscuit, she'd rush out from underneath the blanket and bark at me and grab her biscuit and pull it back under the cover. And she hasn't played that game since arthritis started being bad. But she's a champ. She takes her CBD oil, which I have to admit, I missed giving her the last 3 or 4 days. I rearranged the van, and a lot of things were not where I had them before. And then I wanted to take some things out of the van, and somebody helped me, and things got more disorganized because somebody else moved things. I still haven't found my pillow. Maybe they took my neck pillow out. I don't know. But anyway, her CBD oil I didn't find until today, and I gave it to her today. So we'll go back on the routine of giving her CBD oil every day, because I know it helps her, keeps her limber and happy, and I love it when she races ahead of me when she's walking beside the scooter. I love it. Little child's had cataracts for years. But when she made that strange sound and she seemed half awake, I offered her water. She has a thermos. Actually, she has two of them. She has a little pink thermos, and then she has a taller blue one. And I offered her water from the tall blue one because it had ice water in it. And we'd been in the shade, but with a lot of other light coming in, not direct sunlight, and not the air conditioning on. So I thought, well, maybe she got hot. I personally wasn't terribly hot, but and she has her little personal fan on her, blowing on her. She barely lifted her head. She rested her chin on her cup and drank. And when she was finished drinking, she just sat there with her chin on the cup. And I took the cup away, petted her. She readjusted her position and went back to sleep. So she's been sleeping for hours and hours. I just went to her usual field and asked her if she wanted to get out. She made absolutely no effort to even get up. We had Pollo Tropical last night, her favorite chicken. She usually eats only once a day. When I was eating breakfast, she seemed interested. I offered her some chicken. She didn't want it, so she wasn't hungry. She just wanted to see what I was eating. She's been sleeping all day. Like I said, I'm not feeling terrific. The weather's a little bit, it was hot. Not real humid, but it was hot, dry heat. But a lot of blotchy gray clouds. And when there's impending rain, see all the behind the trees? Those are gray clouds. And there's gray clouds there. There's something about impending weather that is really hard on a person's body if they have arthritis. I don't know if it's the barometric pressure or what, but it really... My whole back, and I've been sitting up, my whole back feels from the back of my head down the back of my legs, as though somebody's laying on top of me right now. I could be laying on my stomach and another human laying on top of me. That's the way I feel, the pressure on my body. And it's atmospheric. It's not anything else. Maybe she feels that way today, too. And I must admit, I fell asleep myself several times off and on during the day. But I don't like to do that when the door is standing open. And I can't open the windows in the van. They don't work. I have to have an electrical specialist find out what's wrong. I thought that's what Pep Boys was going to do Friday with their electronic diagnostic, but they didn't find anything. And then told me I had to go to an electrical specialist, so they didn't charge me for the diagnostic test, although I was there for 3 hours. But in any case, can't open the sliding doors and leave them open, which would be ideal. because the flashers come on when the doors are open. It's to let you know that a side door is open. It's a safety feature, but that drains the battery, and there's no disconnect switch for it. Just like the tailgate, you cannot exit from inside the van. There's one key entry, which is the driver's door. So, and these are all safety features. I understand that. There's a third seat that's in the floorboard in the back, which does face the tailgate. So, realistically, if you had children riding in that tailgate, you know, facing that tailgate, of course you wouldn't want them to be able to accidentally open that tailgate. But on the other hand, there are child locks on both of the sliding doors. So why not put a child lock on the inside of the tailgate? There absolutely, positively is no switch, no button, no lever. You cannot get out from inside via the tailgate. So, since none of the windows open, it's kind of difficult to get ventilation in here without leaving the driver's door open. But I didn't think we were so hot to be uncomfortable. But maybe she just feels like I do today. She's been so motionless, though. I said a prayer. I asked God. I said, if you're going to take her, please don't let her suffer. Just take her warmly and gently in your arms, like she deserves, because she has been the sweetest child her whole life. I have had only one other pet who gave me so much joy, and it was a different kind of joy. She was a cat, and we were soulmates. I mean, we had a mental connection. And when I got little child, she just exceeds every expectation of a pet, a comedian, a friend. I've gone through so much pain while she's been with me, and she's just given me so much happiness. When I was feeling so much pain, she'd cheer me up. Such an amazing soul. When I got her, and I read that Chihuahuas usually live about 16 years, they're very well cared for, and she's been very well cared for. I calculated it. And I said, well, with everything I've been through and going through in 16 years, I'll be 74. I think I'll be ready to go with her. As time has approached, that 16-year mark is looming. I still feel the same way. I don't want to live without her. She couldn't live without me. And on that somber note, I say good night. I'm sure we'll be much better tomorrow. I'm grateful I have her. She's been a blessing. Absolute blessing. And StanLee's a blessing too, because he chirps and makes me happy. Be well. Good night. Count your blessings. Be grateful.